Jae-hyun Park stared blankly at the holographic display, his fingers trembling slightly as he attempted to calibrate the quantum navigation system. Around him, the sleek metallic classroom buzzed with whispers and quiet snickers from his alien classmates. Their translucent skin and multiple appendages seemed to radiate an aura of superiority that made him feel even smaller. The Interstellar Academy was not just a school, it was a proving ground for the galaxy's most promising young explorers. Every student here came from advanced civilizations that had mastered space travel centuries ago. Every student, except for Jae-hyun. He was the only human in his cohort, a fact that seemed to amuse and irritate his classmates in equal measure. His academic record was abysmal. Consistently ranking at the bottom of every practical and theoretical assessment, Jae-hyun had become something of a joke among the instructors and students alike. Today's navigation simulation was another opportunity for humiliation. The task seemed simple: plot a safe course through a simulated asteroid field using advanced computational techniques. While his classmates manipulated complex holographic interfaces with multiple limbs and enhanced neural connections, Jae-hyun struggled to keep up with even the most basic calculations. Kira, a tall, blue-skinned student from the Andromeda sector, leaned over and whispered loud enough for everyone to hear. Another failed attempt by the human. I wonder why they even let him into the academy. Her tentacle-like fingers danced effortlessly across her navigation console, creating intricate pathways that seemed to defy the laws of spatial physics. Jae-hyun said nothing. He had grown used to these comments. Back on Earth, he had been told repeatedly that he was not cut out for space exploration. His teachers had predicted he would never make it past the initial screening, let alone be accepted into the most prestigious interstellar training program in the known universe. But something inside him refused to give up. Each failure was not a setback, but a lesson. Each mocking comment was not a wound, but a challenge. He might be the weakest link in this advanced classroom, but he was determined to prove that humans were more than what others perceived them to be. The simulation began. Massive holographic asteroids appeared, moving at incredible speeds. Students around him began plotting complex, evasive routes, their systems calculating thousands of potential trajectories per second. Jae-hyun's console flickered uncertainly. He closed his eyes. Instead of relying on the advanced computational systems, he began to think differently. His mind worked not like a machine, but like a living, breathing entity. He started seeing patterns, understanding the subtle rhythms of movement that the sophisticated AI systems were missing. His fingers, which moments ago were shaking, now moved with a surprising calm. He wasn't following the standard protocols. He was creating something entirely new. The instructor, a stern-looking creature with multiple eyes that changed color based on emotional states, watched with increasing curiosity. His eyes shifted from a dull gray to a vibrant orange, a color indicating surprise and intrigue. As the simulation progressed, something unexpected happened. While other students' ships were getting destroyed or severely damaged, Jae-hyun's navigation became increasingly smooth. He wasn't just avoiding asteroids. He was threading through them with an almost poetic grace. When the simulation ended, an unusual silence filled the classroom. Kira's jaw dropped. The other students stared in disbelief. Jae-hyun had not only survived but had completed the course, with minimal damage to his virtual ship. The instructor approached his console, carefully reviewing the navigation logs. Something was different about Jae-hyun's approach. It wasn't about superior technology or advanced calculations. It was about understanding, about feeling the movement of space itself. This was just the beginning. Jae-hyun didn't know it yet, but he was about to change everything they knew about human potential in space exploration. The next training module was a complete survival scenario designed to test the adaptability of young space explorers. Each student received a complex survival kit and was expected to navigate through a simulated hostile environment that mimicked the harshest planetary conditions known in the galaxy. Jae-hyun watched as his alien classmates unpacked their advanced technological gear. Robotic assistants, multi-spectrum scanning devices, and energy shields were standard equipment for most students. His own kit looked painfully simple in comparison, Basic tools, a standard issue environmental suit, and a few rudimentary survival instruments. Kira, still irritated by his unexpected performance in the previous navigation test, whispered loud enough for others to hear, "Look at the human's equipment, he won't last an hour in the simulation." Her blue-skinned companions laughed, their multiple appendages gesturing mockingly. The simulation began. A holographic landscape materialized. A rocky, windswept planet, with extreme temperature variations and minimal resources. Most students immediately activated their high-tech protective gear, creating comfortable bubbles of artificial environment around themselves. Jae-hyun moved differently. While others stood still, analyzing data, he began exploring. His movements were careful but purposeful. He observed the terrain, understanding its patterns rather than fighting against them. Halfway through the simulation, something unexpected started happening. Students with advanced technology began experiencing system failures. Complex shields flickered and died. Sophisticated scanning equipment became useless against the planet's unpredictable electromagnetic interference. But Jae-hyun's simple equipment continued functioning perfectly. He used basic survival techniques, creating shelter from natural rock formations, finding water through observation of plant life, and maintaining body temperature through intelligent movement and clothing layering. The instructor, whose color-changing eyes now swirled with a mixture of deep purple and bright green, indicating intense curiosity and growing respect, watched Jae-hyun's progress carefully. This human was doing something fundamentally different from all other students. Where alien students relied entirely on technology, Jae-hyun relied on human adaptability. He understood that survival wasn't about having the most advanced equipment, but about understanding the environment and working with it, not against it. As hours passed in the simulation, most students were evacuated due to equipment failures or survival challenges. Kira's sophisticated systems collapsed within the first 2 hours. Her technological superiority meant nothing against the raw, unpredictable nature of the simulated environment. Jae-hyun, however, not only survived but thrived. He created a small shelter, found water sources, and maintained his body temperature, using techniques that seemed almost primitive compared to the advanced technology around him. When the simulation ended, an uncomfortable silence filled the training room. The instructor approached Jae-hyun, his multiple eyes studying the young human with a new level of respect. "Your approach is unconventional," the instructor said, his translator rendering the words with a mix of confusion and admiration. "You do not rely on technology. You adapt." Jae-hyun simply smiled. He understood something that his alien classmates had forgotten. Technology was a tool, but human adaptability was the real survival mechanism. Kira watched from a distance, her previous mockery replaced by a growing sense of uncertainty. This human was proving to be something entirely unexpected. The survival simulation had revealed more than just Jae-hyun's capabilities. It had shown a fundamental difference in approach, a uniquely human way of problem-solving that didn't depend on advanced technology, but on intelligence, creativity, and adaptability. As students discussed the results, whispers began to spread. Who was this human? What made him so different? The Interstellar Academy was about to learn that human potential was far more complex and powerful than anyone had previously understood. Jae-hyun didn't celebrate his success. For him, this was just another step in a journey of proving that humans belonged among the stars, not as inferior beings, but as unique and powerful explorers capable of adapting to any challenge the universe might present. The simulation was over, but Jae-hyun's real test was just beginning. The advanced training module arrived with unprecedented complexity. A massive holographic display showed a simulated disaster scenario that would challenge even the most experienced space explorers. Multiple planetary systems were collapsing, and a rescue mission seemed almost impossible. Jae-hyun sat quietly in the training room, his hands resting lightly on the control panel. Around him, alien students from various advanced civilizations prepared their most sophisticated equipment. Massive computational systems hummed with energy, preparing to analyze every potential rescue scenario. The simulation began, Most students immediately started running complex algorithms, their multiple limbs moving across advanced holographic interfaces. Computational models predicted failure rates of over 90% for the rescue mission. The scenario seemed designed to be unwinnable. Kira, still determined to prove human inadequacy, launched her most advanced rescue strategy. Her approach was mathematically perfect, a series of precise calculations that looked impressive on her display. But something was missing. Jae-hyun closed his eyes. He wasn't looking at numbers or computational models. He was feeling the simulation, understanding the underlying patterns of the disaster. Where others saw a complex mathematical problem, he saw a living, breathing system with its own rhythm and flow. His fingers began moving differently. Instead of forcing a solution, he was working with the natural dynamics of the system. His approach wasn't about conquering the challenge, but understanding it. The instructor watched with growing curiosity. Jae-hyun's method defied everything in the standard rescue protocols. He wasn't following any known strategy. He was creating something entirely new. Suddenly, unexpected changes began happening in the simulation. While other students' rescue attempts failed catastrophically, Jae-hyun's approach started showing remarkable results. Small rescue pods began moving with unprecedented efficiency. Resources were being allocated in ways no computational model had previously predicted. Kira's sophisticated system began to fail. Her perfectly calculated rescue attempts resulted in massive simulated casualties. But Jae-hyun's seemingly simple approach was saving entire planetary populations. The key was his uniquely human perspective. He wasn't thinking like a machine. He was thinking like a living, breathing entity capable of intuitive problem-solving. Each decision was not just a calculation, but a holistic understanding of the entire system. Halfway through the simulation, something extraordinary happened. Jae-hyun had not only prevented the total collapse of multiple planetary systems, but had also created unexpected pathways for recovery. His rescue strategy wasn't just about saving populations, but about creating sustainable recovery systems. The instructor's color-changing eyes now swirled with an intense mixture of deep blue and bright green, indicating profound respect and genuine surprise. This human was demonstrating capabilities that went beyond any standard training protocol. When the simulation ended, an uncomfortable silence filled the training room. The computational systems showed something unprecedented. Jae-hyun had achieved a 98% rescue success rate. Every other student had failed completely. Impossible, Kira muttered, her advanced technological confidence completely shattered. The instructor approached Jae-hyun, multiple eyes studying him carefully. "Explain your strategy," he demanded. Jae-hyun smiled softly. "I didn't have a strategy," he responded. "I just understood the system's needs and worked with them, not against them." His words revealed something profound. Human potential wasn't about having the most advanced technology. It was about adaptability, intuition, and a holistic understanding of complex systems. The training room buzzed with whispers. The human who was once considered the weakest link was now demonstrating capabilities that challenged everything they knew about space exploration. Jae-hyun wasn't celebrating. For him, this was just another step in understanding his own potential. He knew he had revealed something important, not just about himself, but about human capabilities in the vast, complex universe. The unexpected breakthrough had changed everything. The Interstellar Academy would never be the same again. The emergency transmission came without warning. A deep space research vessel had encountered a catastrophic system failure near the edge of an unexplored galaxy. Standard rescue protocols suggested immediate abandonment of the mission, with minimal chance of survival for the crew. Jae-hyun was part of the rapid response team when the call arrived. Most experienced space commanders argued for a withdrawal. The risks were too high, the location was impossible, the technological challenges seemed insurmountable. But something in Jae-hyun's mind started working differently. While senior officers debated with complex holographic projections, he was quietly analyzing the transmission's subtle details. Most saw impossible obstacles. He saw potential solutions. The research vessel wasn't just a machine, it was a living system with interconnected parts. Each failure point was not a dead end but an opportunity for creative problem-solving. Where others saw complexity, Jae-hyun saw patterns waiting to be understood. Their primary rescue ship was equipped with the most advanced technological systems, massive computational engines, multi-spectrum scanning devices, and adaptive environmental shields covered every possible technological approach. Yet, something felt wrong to Jae-hyun. As they approached the damaged vessel, communication became increasingly difficult. Random electromagnetic pulses disrupted standard communication channels. Advanced alien technology began failing one by one. Complex scanning systems became useless. Other team members became nervous. Their sophisticated equipment was collapsing. Rescue seemed impossible. Panic started spreading through the communication channels. Jae-hyun remained calm. He noticed something the others missed. The vessel's system wasn't completely dead. It was struggling, like a living organism fighting for survival. Each technological failure was revealing something important about the ship's condition. Using minimal equipment, he began developing an unconventional rescue strategy. While others argued about computational models, he was creating a holistic approach that considered the ship as a living entity rather than a mechanical system. The rescue attempt began. Where other team members saw failure points, Jae-hyun saw connection opportunities. His approach wasn't about forcing a solution, but understanding the system's natural survival mechanisms. Slowly, unexpectedly, progress started happening. Communication channels began stabilizing. Damaged systems started responding to his unique approach. The research vessel, which moments ago seemed completely lost, began showing signs of recovery. Senior commanders watched in disbelief. Jae-hyun was doing the impossible. He wasn't using advanced technology. He was using something far more powerful, human intuition and adaptive thinking. Hours passed. The rescue mission continued. Most technological systems had failed completely, but Jae-hyun's approach remained consistent. He treated the vessel like a living organism, understanding its needs and working with its natural recovery mechanisms. When the rescue was complete, the results were unprecedented. Not only had they saved the entire research crew, but they had also recovered most of the vessel's critical research data. Something that seemed impossible had been achieved through a fundamentally different approach. The rescued crew looked at Jae-hyun with a mixture of confusion and respect. He hadn't used their advanced technological solutions. He had used something more fundamental: human creativity and adaptive thinking. The mission's lead researcher approached him. "How did you do this?" she asked, her alien features showing genuine curiosity. Jae-hyun simply smiled. "I didn't fight the system," he explained. "I worked with it." Those words carried more meaning than a simple explanation. They represented a fundamental shift in understanding space exploration. Technology was a tool, but human adaptability was the real survival mechanism. News of the rescue spread quickly through the Interstellar Academy. The human who was once considered the weakest link had just become a symbol of human potential in space exploration. Jae-hyun knew this was just the beginning. The universe was waiting, and humans had so much more to discover. The main conference hall of the Interstellar Academy buzzed with excitement. Representatives from hundreds of alien civilizations had gathered for an unprecedented event, recognizing a human who had changed everything they knew about space exploration. Jae-hyun stood quietly on the central platform, looking more uncomfortable than triumphant. His simple black uniform contrasted sharply with the elaborate technology-embedded outfits of the alien dignitaries surrounding him. The chief administrator, a massive creature with shifting holographic skin, began the ceremony. "Today we recognize an individual who has challenged our understanding of adaptive intelligence," the administrator's translation device hummed. Jae-hyun Park represents a breakthrough in interstellar exploration. Memories of his previous struggles flashed through Jae-hyun's mind. The mockery, the constant doubt, The moments when he was considered the weakest link in the entire academy all seemed distant now. Multiple awards were presented, not just academic recognitions, but practical commendations for his unprecedented rescue missions and innovative problem-solving techniques. Each award represented a challenge he had transformed from impossible to achievable. Kira, who once mocked him relentlessly, now sat in the audience with a complex mix of emotions. Her previous confidence had been completely dismantled by Jae-hyun's remarkable achievements. The human had proven that technological superiority meant nothing without adaptive thinking. The chief administrator continued, "Human adaptability has been dramatically underestimated. Jae-hyun Park demonstrates that survival isn't about advanced technology, but about understanding complex systems and working with them, not against them." As he spoke, holographic displays showed Jae-hyun's remarkable journey. His survival simulations, rescue missions, and innovative approaches were presented as case studies. Young explorers from various civilizations watched with growing respect and curiosity. A special research position was offered, something unprecedented for a first-year student. Jae-hyun would lead an experimental team exploring unknown galactic regions focusing on adaptive exploration techniques. His approach would become a new standard in space exploration training. Representatives from Earth watched with pride. Their planet, often considered technologically inferior, had produced someone who could compete at the highest levels of interstellar exploration. Jae-hyun represented hope for an entire planet's potential. During his acceptance speech, Jae-hyun was remarkably humble. "Exploration isn't about having the most advanced equipment," he said. "It's about understanding the systems around you and working with their natural rhythms." His words carried profound meaning. He wasn't just describing space exploration. He was describing a philosophy of adaptation that could transform entire civilizations' approaches to problem-solving. The ceremony concluded with a standing ovation. Multiple alien species, who had previously considered humans as technological novices, now looked at Jae-hyun with genuine respect. He had transformed their understanding of human potential. As he left the stage, younger human students looked at him with inspiration. He wasn't just a student anymore. He had become a symbol of what humans could achieve when they approached challenges with creativity and intuition. The Interstellar Academy would never be the same. Jae-hyun had proven that true intelligence wasn't about computational power, but about understanding, adapting, and working with complex systems. Outside the conference hall, a new era of space exploration was beginning. An era where human potential would be recognized not as a limitation, but as a unique and powerful approach to understanding the universe. Jae-hyun knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast, and humans had so much more to discover. His journey was not just about personal achievement, but about opening doors for an entire species. As he walked through the gleaming corridors of the academy, he smiled quietly. The universe was waiting, and humans were ready to explore it in their own unique way. The weak student had become a galactic pioneer, and this was only the first chapter of his extraordinary story.